Greetings. This is Polly of a Spooky Polly. We've all seen the photograph of Zoran Mamdani shaking hands with Donald Trump. And you're all wondering whether on the left or right, what does this mean? What can this signify? Well, some people have given their opinions because talks were secret. I have mine. I'm rather cynical, but let's start off with a story first. This is really a bit of a joke. You may have heard it. If not, well, you'll enjoy it better. Let's call a man named Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith dies, and he goes to the pearly gates and sees St. Peter. Now, he's a little worried about this meeting here. And when he sees St. Peter, he says, Mr. Smith, you want to go to heaven or to hell? And he says, oh, I want to go to heaven. And a little surprised by this. But Peter says, we have a rule here, and you have to follow it. You get to spend one day in heaven and one day in hell. And the guy says, no, I want to go to heaven. And Peter said, no, this is the way we do things here. Want to go down to hell? The guy says, okay, let's put the day there. And he specs the words, so he takes the elevator down, and he's a little apprehensive here. He gets down to below there. He sees Mardi Gras. Everyone's having a fun time. Girls have bird level one. He's drinking. He's smoking. He's palling around with some strange types. He meets the devil, who's a friendly guy. He says, here in hell, you can do whatever you want. This isn't like the other place there where you have all these rules. We have no rules here. You do what you want, and he does what he wants. And when it's all over, he says, no, the devil, you're a nice guy. I don't know what these people say about you is so wrong. So he goes back upstairs to St. Peter, and Peter says, okay, now go upstairs. So he takes the elevator up to heaven. And he's on these clouds there, and he sees these great vistas, beautiful colors, classical music. He's talking to all these people there, and he says, but these are friendly people. I could be friends with these people. I didn't meet them in real life, but they're nice guys. And when it's all over, he takes the elevator down again to St. Peter, and Peter says, okay, now, would you vote to go? And Mr. Smith says, we know I liked heaven. I contemplated an awful lot, but I'll be honest with you. I kind of like the other place better. My crowd. And Peter says, okay, there's the elevator. So he walks from the elevator, takes it down, and he expects a good time. Here he gets off. He sees a bleak landscape. Black clouds, red sky. The smell is atrocious. And from these black clouds, he hears millions of people screaming in agony. He's terrified. And he sees the devil. He said, what happened? What's changed? The devil just smiles and says, Mr. Smith, yesterday I was campaigning. Today you voted. I thought that was good. But Zoran Mamdani is a very charismatic guy. I mean, to see him, he's very likable. I can see why he won an election, and he won the majority of the popular vote. But unfortunately, what he's selling hasn't worked. Communism didn't work in Russia, didn't work in China, didn't work in Cambodia, and the latest example, Venezuela, it's as bad as it's ever been. Now, they say in Venezuela, used to be a wealthy country, the people have lost an average of 17 pounds. Nothing works. You've seen the store shelves are empty. They have rolling blackouts in the city. Communism doesn't work. And this guy, Zoran Mamdani, is just selling you snake oil. Now, why would he want to meet Donald Trump? I mean, didn't he say when he won the election, look, Mr. Trump, I won. I mean, there's a reason why. First, yeah, he won, but he's got the Jews coming after him. And they see him as an anti-Semite, and that may or may not be true. I don't know. Being anti-Israeli doesn't equate to being anti-Semite. A lot of Jews do. And he indeed may be anti-Semite. I don't know. He's a Muslim, And he's got that as his base. But he's got to be fighting with the Jews from day one. The best we can hope for in this city is that nothing happens. They cancel each other out, and we just drift around. Well, that's the best you can hope for. The worst, and you always have to look at the worst, is that he's going dead his way, release the criminals, drive out the money on Wall Street, makes the city hell. But, even to do anything, he's got to get some type of clout. Herschel, the governor, has already told him that we're not giving you money for these free buses. I'm not going to ask the people upstate to pay for New York buses. You forget that. Listen, Sydney's already heavily in debt. He can raise taxes, but even more heavily taxed. But he's got a problem inside the Democratic Party. He's got a problem with Herschel as governor. So you can see what he wants to cut down the odds a little bit. Make sure the federal government doesn't come around there and stop money that he thinks he deserves in federal grants and things. So he goes to see Trump. Well, why should Trump want to see this guy? Because Trump has perhaps $1 billion in real estate in New York City, maybe more. He wants that protected from this guy. So no doubt they talked about it, and a little deal was made here. I won't touch Trump properties, and if I get some federal money coming to me in grants and things, don't stop it, no matter what you hear. And this is like the Nazi Communist Pact in 1942, the Stalin-Hitler Pact. Well, how long's that going to last? I really don't know with this one. Still, I can understand it. Mamdani wants a friend in the federal government, at least not an enemy, because you got enemies here, and Donald Trump doesn't want his property touched by this guy. Hopefully it goes away, but if not, you have to deal with it. Anyway, unfortunately, this is the city I live in, and I'm a little worried about what's going to happen in this city. But anyway, this is my rather cynical take on the Mamdani Trump visit. And I'll probably being close to correct. Okay. Till I see you again. This is Polly saying bye-bye.